3 p.m. Officers with the Douglas Police Department responded to the 900 block of South Coffee Avenue and in reference to a person with gunshot wound. Upon arrival in the area, officers located 18-year-old Traveon Marquess Paulk on the ground with a apparent gunshot wound to his chest area. Officers rendered medical aid until emergency personnel could arrive on scene, and they transported him to the Coffee Regional Medical Center, where he succumbed to the injuries a short time later. During the investigation, it was revealed that Mr. Paulk was shot by a 14-year-old female. This juvenile has been transported to the RYD City Center in Waycross, and at this time has been charged with involuntary manslaughter. As I stated, this incident is an ongoing investigation. There may be additional charges or more severe charges depending on the outcome of the investigation. We will release further information as the investigation continues. And at this point, I would like to turn it over to Mayor Tony Paulk. He would like to talk and have a few words for everybody. Thank you.
Good evening. It saddens me for a couple of reasons to stand before you today to address this tragic incident that occurred in our city on Monday, March 28, 2016, where a 14-year-old female shot an 18-year-old Mr. Paulk, who died as a result of that shooting. First of all, I am saddened as a father. I cannot imagine the life of one of my children ending in such a senseless way. I express my feelings of sorrow to the family of the Paulks. This was a needless tragedy that did not need to happen and should not have happened. I also have gloom in my heart for the family of the young female who is said to have shot Mr. Paulk. It saddens me because of her mindset, in which she had to think this was the only way to resolve the situation at that moment. No parent should have to experience the anguish that is being felt by the family of the Paulks or the actions of the female. Secondly, I'm saddened as the mayor because not only as the elected official, but as a citizen of this community, it troubles me greatly that a juvenile who is not allowed to legally possess a gun, who is able to have one in her possession. I call upon all parents who own guns to make sure your guns are secure. People of Douglas, our juveniles cannot legally walk into a gun store and purchase a gun, but yet these weapons continue to fall into the hands of our young adults who don't fully understand the implications, consequences, and responsibilities associated with guns. What can you do as parents or guardians of that child or young adults to help keep these statistics from increasing? You can be sure that you can properly secure your guns. You can educate your child on how to safely use a gun, when it is wrong to use a gun. Never ever leave your weapon where your child can find it. You should often check to make sure your gun is still in a safekeeping spot. Just because it was safe on Monday does not mean that it is safe on Sunday. Even if you don't own a gun, nor do you keep it in a home, it is your responsibility as a parent to be sure that you educate your child about gun safety. This era we are raising our children in is vastly different from when we were growing up. Talking to our children and instilling values are things that we should still do and should never change. And believe it or not, it still works today. Parents, it is of the essence that you educate your children about tolerance. By teaching tolerance, we're teaching our kids to have clear sense of what right and wrong is. Right and wrong did not change over the last 4 or 5 decades. What was wrong then is still wrong today. Today I call upon all parents to know where your youth are at all times. A 12-year-old should not be walking the streets of Douglas alone. We are in the middle of spring break in Douglas and Coffee County, and it won't be long before school will be out for the summer months. School break should be a time of fun for our children and not be of a tragic nature as we experienced in the last 24 hours. It can be challenging for parents to afford child care services, and as a result, juveniles are often entrusted to care for themselves during the day. Parents, start now searching out positive activities and safe locations for your children while you're at work. There's an old African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child, meaning that that child's upbringing is a communal effort. That means everybody in the community shares a responsibility in raising this child. The responsibility of raising a child is shared with the extended family. Older children, aunts, uncles, grandparents, even cousins, neighbors, and friends. In our city, it is going to take our entire community to implement positive programs, initiatives, and service for all of our youth to engage. Thus, this is the reason I am currently working on implementing a mayor's youth council, which will promote leadership, volunteerism, and community service for our youth. As a 52-year-old, I don't really know what's on the mind of a 12 or 13 or 14-year-old. This mayor's youth council will serve as a bridge for us to communicate, for us to get the opportunity to understand from the youth's point of view. The youth council will work as an incentive to give our youth an active role in addressing youth issues. What we're addressing is youth issues. So therefore, we need to get results or recommendations directly from the youth. I am going to request that our Douglas Police Department create a positive awareness program for juveniles, one that would bring their attention to the crime rate and the consequences that they will face, but at the same time, a program that will deter our youth from going down the wrong path. Listen to me. As I think about the parents on both sides, neither will be able to hug their child tonight. People listening today and this evening, you have an opportunity to hug your child. I'm saying as the mayor of Douglas, be respectful and know how blessed that you are that you still have the opportunity to hug your child tonight. But you also have an opportunity to be impactful on your child's life by educating them on gun safety, by educating them on tolerance. We have to. This is not an issue that we can say it only happened last night. This issue is prevalent here, and we are going to address it very aggressively. So in closing, I say this to all the parents of the city of Douglas and of the county of Coffee. Hold on to your child. Hold on to your child dearly. Talk to your child. Don't talk at your child. Listen to your child. There's a difference between hearing your child and listening to your child. Please adhere to my request. And I thank you for your time. God bless you, and God bless the city of Douglas. At this time, we will entertain any questions from the media, and I will ask that the chief stand beside me to make sure that we stay in the legal arena. Questions?
Chief, the first report that I had heard regarding the shooting was that it appeared it may have been accidental. Is that the nature of the investigation, or does it look like there was another cause of it?
Without getting into it, like I said, it is an ongoing investigation. The original call dispatched from 911 was an accidental shooting. But the actual investigation is, like I said, is ongoing, and we will follow it whichever direction it goes at this point in time. That's why I mentioned that there may be additional charges depending upon the investigation. But without going into the actual investigation, where they're at this point in time, the original call was given out as an accidental shooting to the officers.
The 14-year-old, is she being charged as like an adult? Like, are you all planning to release her name right now, or?
Currently, as I stated earlier, she is in the RYDC Center as a juvenile. Under state statute, until she is transferred, or if Superior Court picks it up on different charges, she will continue to stay in the system for the juvenile justice system.
Chief, what kind of weapon was she handling?
At this point, all I can tell you is that it was a pistol.
At this time, are there any other questions?
So do we know if there was anyone else out there besides just them two?
There were other individuals at the scene that have been and continue to be questioned. And at this point, I do not have the names to release of those, nor can I at this point in time.
And encouraging people that may know anything to contact you guys?
Yes, I was going to close up with saying that if anybody has any information regarding this incident, as well as other incidents, please contact the Douglas Police Department or contact us on our tips line, which is on 24 hours a day that we access and everything. Or they can contact us via Facebook. There's links to the investigators on the Facebook that they can contact and leave a message for.
And this gives us the opportunity to say what the Douglas Police Department already has a program, see something, say something. So we need to make sure that our police officers cannot be on every street 24 hours a day. But guess what? You've been in your neighborhood for the last 10 or 15 years. You know the children that belong in that neighborhood and the ones that frequent that neighborhood. So if you see a adolescent that is out of place, it's 9 or 10 o'clock, you don't see an adult around, you need to be trying to get in contact with someone to make sure that that young adult gets home safely. See something, say something, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the city of Douglas acting as one, moving in the same direction with the same goal, providing a safe, fun environment for our youth. As the mayor of Douglas, I can't do it by myself. Our commissioners can't do it. Our staff can't do it. What it takes is everybody. There are 11,656 citizens in the city of Douglas, and we all have a charge to keep. We all have a charge to keep. Thank you very much. God bless you.